Right, welcome along guys, cheers for tuning in. So something a little bit different on the channel today. We are going to be reviewing a direct drive wheel from a company called Cammus. Now, Cammus is a Chinese company and they focus on the research and development of automotive frontier technology. Now, they don't just make sim racing products, they actually make go-karts and even they've developed their own supercar, believe it or not. So I'll leave a link down in the description below to their website if you want to check them out, but it seems like a really cool company and they're doing some really forward-thinking stuff, and obviously this is now branched out into the sim racing world. So this is the wheel in question. So it's a direct drive wheel, however, as you can see there is no motor. This doesn't connect to an external motor which provides the direct drive forces. It's all housed in here, which is remarkable, first of its kind that I'm aware of. And the most remarkable thing about this is the price point that this thing comes in at, which is insane. We're not going to beat around the bush. This thing is a direct drive wheel that comes with the clamp for $279, which is crazy money. Now, we're going to dive into this in the sim and put it through its paces, but I just wanted to show you what we're looking at first before we jump into the sim. So there's 20 buttons on here, 20 operational buttons that you can use, 3 rotary encoders. Now the buttons, as you can hear there, they're actually really nice. You know when you've pressed them, which is what you want, especially when you're racing with gloves on. You want to know that you have hit that button and there's nothing left in your mind that you're not sure whether you've adjusted something or not. Same with the rotaries. I hope that click comes through on the microphone, but really, really good, solid clicks and everything there from the buttons. I would compare this to the likes of a Fanatec wheel, and the quality, I would say, is as good as the Fanatec wheels. And considering the price point again for a direct drive wheel, this is coming in really good. Little LED readout there, and the rev light shift thing for you there as well. The whole thing is quite heavy. Obviously, you would expect that with it being a direct drive motor. So this is 3.6 kilogram and 67 mil thick. So it's a nice thick wheel there. And it's putting out 5 Newton meter. It's a 5 Newton meter wheelbase. So yeah, really good. Little tiny little paddle shifters on the back there. You can see here as well. This is where you connect everything to. So if we spin that round, you've got a little fan that sits inside the clamp to keep this thing cool. USB and the power there, and then the pedals, which you can just see over my shoulder there. They slot into this little USB-C port there. Now, this bundle with the desk clamp comes in at $279. However, if you add the pedals, $329. So you can get set up with a direct drive wheelbase with pedals and everything you need to mount it for $329. That's crazy money. So the question that everybody will want to know is it any good? So we're going to dive into the sim and we're going to take a look. Right then, Super Formula Lights practice session at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, Montreal. About to put the Cammus C5 through its paces in here. I thought this would be the perfect car to test a wheel rim like this. First impressions in the hand, rock solid. And I mean rock solid. No flex whatsoever. Just mounted via the desk clamp here onto the PSR3 profile at the top. The rig itself is a PSR1, but we've modified it slightly to get this clamped to the PSR3 mounting option there. I assume it's fake leather, but it feels really nice in the hand. The stitching is excellent. Nice carbon fibre finish with the logo on the front there. Little LED readout for your speed and the rev strip at the top. Buttons, as you would expect, I think, for a wheel coming in at this price point, I would compare these to Fanatec buttons. That all feels like you would expect to get on a Fanatec rim. and you'll probably pay for the price of this whole direct drive unit. You'll probably get a Fanatec wheel rim on its own. So that shows you how competitive this thing is going to be. Rotary encoders, I would say, are probably the best part of this in terms of buttons, in terms of how they feel. The rotary encoders are reassuringly solid. Got a good click to them, which is which is nice. If I wanted any of this to feel, you know, solid, it would be them. Obviously the buttons, you know when you've clicked the button or not. It's a nice click to that, but the rotary encoders really do feel excellent. So we'll get out on track, see how this feels, and see how it compares to the SimiCube 2 Pro, which is the only thing I can compare this to. I'm coming from a SimiCube 2 Pro direct drive wheel. This is the only other direct drive wheel that we have used, so that is what I'm going to be comparing it to. Seems like a bit of an unfair comparison looking at the price, but that is what we are up against. A little tip, I would recommend people wearing gloves with any direct drive wheel. Some people will think it's overkill. However, without the gloves and without this grip, you've got to grip the wheel harder. Now, I just tend to rest my hands on the wheel, certainly up and down the straights and stuff. And you get much more detail through the wheel if you're not gripping so hard. I think you lose a lot of the detail if you're really gripping onto this thing or any direct drive wheel. So I just tend to rest nice and gentle on there. So yeah, just a little tip. So first thing you notice is the shifters, tiny little shifters on the back of this thing. And I was a little worried, a little concerned when I saw them. Thought my big sausage fingers would be missing shifts all over the place, but they're very nicely placed and there's a real nice feeling to them as well. So they really don't need to be any bigger. And the first thing I notice is just how much detail I'm getting from the texture of the road. Obviously we expect to get feedback through the curbs, through the grass when you go off track, but I'm feeling every little piece of texture on this road surface as well. So we're just going to run over the curbs, the grass. So what I notice in this, and I said it's not a fair comparison, so you can see the wheel reacting there to the grass. I did say it's not a fair comparison to compare this to the SimiCube 2 Pro. However, there is something you get from this wheel that I've not experienced before in a direct drive wheel. And I notice it more coming out of sharper turns when I've got a lot of steering lock on. And I feel a jolt almost as I shift up. It feels like there's movement this way. Like I don't know if it's almost trying to replicate the force of the, whether it's braking or the G-forces of the car, the snap when you change the gear. But I've never felt that before. Don't feel that in the SimiCube, so that's a really nice touch. Really, again, really surprising that the detail that I'm getting from this, I haven't experienced that. So this is where I first noticed it. Just as I exited the hairpin here, obviously a lot of steering input on, and that shift from first to second, and I felt a kick this way, which is very, very nice indeed. I'm absolutely blown away by the detail that I'm getting from this thing. If I just had a go on a rig and this thing was mounted. And somebody told me the price of this. I genuinely wouldn't believe them that this was available at this price. Feel the rear go loose. If you brake traction a little bit at the rear end, you feel the front go loose if you're understeering. You know when you're on the grass, you know when there's a surface change underneath your wheels. You literally feel everything. Yeah, it's really nice. So the only, and it's not a negative of the wheel, the only negative that I have with the C5 bundle would be the pedals. So much so that I didn't feel I could give the C5 wheel a proper honest review using the pedals, because they seem like a bit of an afterthought, if I'm honest. Obviously, it is an entry-level wheelbase, so a lot of people will be coming from a controller. And if that's the case, then obviously the pedals are going to be a big upgrade. But if you look at the price of the bundle without the pedals, and then you look at the price of the bundle with the pedals, you can see that the money has been spent on this, and it really does show, and that's a massive positive for this wheel. Really is. So we had a little look at the pedals, we mounted them to the rig, as you've probably seen in some of the pictures already, but in order for me to test this wheel and give it a fair run, I didn't feel I could do that with the C5 pedals, because they're just not in the same league. They really aren't. This is as good as it gets in terms of a direct drive motor, 5 Newton meter motors. Like I say, I can only compare it to the SimuCube. But the level of detail that I'm getting is as good that I receive from that. 31.641. And this is almost just out of the box. I've tweaked the app to deliver strong force. I think you've got low, medium and strong, and I set it to strong, and then obviously adjusted iRacing to deliver a good amount of feedback without clipping. We are touching the red a couple of times, but nothing to worry about. But yeah, like I say, the fact that this delivers something that I've never experienced before in terms of the jolt has absolutely blown me away. It is worth mentioning that they do offer a load cell pedal option, and you can buy this wheel with a load cell pedal option, which would be what I would recommend if you're in the market for a full bundle and you want the wheel and pedals. Then I would strongly suggest that you go for the load cell option, and then I would imagine that product is as quality as this.
31.636.
Because I think the pedal deck comes in at around $30, I believe. Now, the pedal deck itself is worth $30. It is definitely worth $30. However, personally, I wouldn't recommend anybody spends $30 on a on a set of pedals. I just wouldn't buy pedals for that amount of money. So that would be the only negative I would have in terms of what I've experienced with this bundle. I'm really surprised, really blown away by this, genuinely. So we'll come back round, pull it into the pits.
Jump guys, 10 away. 5 away. At your mark now. Turn in, come on. Push, nice and easy here.
Right, closing thoughts then on the Cammus C5 bundle. I have to say I'm genuinely impressed with this thing. I'm blown away with the feedback that this thing delivers. Not only that, for it to be able to come in at a price point of $279 with the mount is crazy. Now, the reason I'm talking about the price with the clamp and not the price that comes with the pedals, obviously the pedals there, they are $50 more than the bundle without the pedals. Are the pedals worth $50? Yes, I think they are. Would I want to spend $50 on a pedal set? Probably not, if I'm being honest with you. Cammus do offer a load cell pedal. Now, I've not tested that out, but if it's anything like the C5 wheel, I would imagine, again, that is a quality product. So that's something I'd be interested in testing in the future. But this thing coming in at the price point of $279, when you look at the other entry-level DDs on the market, so we're looking at like the Fanatec DD bundle, which is around $430 with pedals. The SimMagic DD is over $500. And then everything else you're looking towards the $1,000 mark, which this thing just absolutely annihilates the competition on price. And not only that, it does deliver a quality product as well. It's not good for the money. It is genuinely good. It's a very good direct drive wheel, and I'm absolutely blown away by it. So, yeah, the closing thoughts on this thing, I think this is going to be very, very competitive. And anybody who buys this, I don't think they're going to be disappointed. It's got a little app that works with it where you can tweak some stuff. It's got obviously the software and everything where you can tweak some stuff as well. You can set it up exactly how you like this. I think it delivers a good amount of feedback from the sim. Obviously, it's a 5 Nm wheelbase, so you're not going to get massive amounts of force feedback there. But the detail that it delivers is absolutely excellent. So hopefully this has been some value to you guys. If you like the video, do us a huge favour, hit the like button before you go. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, and obviously you like this sort of content, then please consider subscribing. So there is a link down there to the product. Now, obviously that is an affiliate link as well, so that just helps me keep the channel going. If anybody would like to support me in that way, then that would be much appreciated. So until next time, guys, take care. Thank you.